Good morning, everybody. It's Reverend Sam here with Living in Love and Grace. This is my other Facebook page where I just wanted to really talk more, more about love and grace, not so much um, Amazing Love Sanctuary, but I'm sitting here in my backyard here in Denver, and I just wanted to get on here and say hello and get back into things. I feel like I've been so busy with weddings and everything else that I've totally got away from the things that really were kind of my passion, and this was one of them. How we talk about love and grace and what that means, and how important that is to us and to you. And I hope that it's something that you will appreciate as we kind of move forward in this. And so I'm excited about getting back on track. It's just crazy. It's been crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm just excited that I could be back on here and hopefully say some words that encourage you and strengthen you throughout the day. And so um, let me get started here the way I've kind of always done it, and I really like it. So if you notice, the last time, I'm now with reading glasses. That will kind of help me get going here. As much as I don't like them, I'm I need them to read. So here we go. Just to remind you, I always like to start off with 1 Corinthians 13, and that's important to me because it really sets the tone of what love is really all about for me. And I found this translation called the Passion Translation, and I just love the way it read because it's a little more of a contemporary translation. I'm not crazy about a lot of things in the whole translation, but I love 1 Corinthians 13, and it talks about the heading is called "Love, the Motivation of Our Lives," and I love that. I think it's just the best thing. And so, if you're looking for one, I wouldn't put a lot of stock in it, but I do like this translation for this passage in 1 Corinthians 13. If I were to speak with eloquence in the earth's many languages and in the heavenly tongues of angels, yet didn't express myself with love, my words would be reduced to the hollow sound of nothing more than a clanging cymbal. And if I were to have the gift of prophecy with profound understanding of God's hidden secrets, and if I possessed unending supernatural knowledge, and if I had the greatest gift of faith that could move mountains, but have never learned to love, then I am nothing. And if I were to be so generous as to give away everything I owned to feed the poor and to offer my body to be burned as a martyr, without the pure motive of love, I would gain nothing of value. Love is large and incredibly patient. Love is gentle and consistently kind to all. It refuses to be jealous when blessings come to someone else. Love does not brag about one's achievements nor inflate its own importance. Love does not traffic in shame and disrespect, nor selfishly seek its own honor. Love is not easily irritated or quick to take offense. Love joyfully celebrates honesty and finds no delight in what is wrong. Love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others, and love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. Love never stops loving. Then at the very end, until then, there are three things that remain: faith, hope, and love. Yet love surpasses them all. So above all else, let love be the beautiful prize for which you run. I just love that. I think there's something powerful about that, about learning how to challenge ourselves to live in love and to motivate ourselves with love for ourselves, love for God, love for the unlovable, for the ones that challenge us every day to love more and to give more of ourselves. how important that is. And we forget that. Our lives are so closed off to what we deem as unlovable. The sad part is it winds up being people, and we wind up treating people as if they are not valued and unloved because they look different than us, because they talk different from us, because they love different from us, because they're a different color than us, because they're poorer than us. It's pretty tragic. But in the life of those who choose to be followers of Jesus, there is no other option but to live in love, to live and demonstrate love to all those around us. So I feel like I'm back here to get back on this and get back in track. And so, so love is just an important topic for us to look at and get involved in, and see ourselves as different. So Jesus commanded us. Let's go being a follower of Jesus. I'm almost to that point where the idea of identifying as an evangelical Christian or a Christian is almost just it has such a negative connotation anymore, because it's so politically charged, and we forget what love is really all about, what being a follower of Jesus is all about. It's about learning how to love, loving the unlovable, loving our enemies, loving those that use us, loving those that don't understand us, loving those that test every moment of our lives. That's the love I'm talking about. It's not easy. I'm not saying I've got it together, because I fail miserably in that daily. All of us do. We're human beings. And yet, in that desire to love, God never stops loving us. And Jesus never stops challenging us to love more. So let's kind of look at that. And I'll just kind of go through what I'm talking about. To love is to allow something to flow through us. To love is to allow something to flow through us. Love isn't a duty and an obligation that I've got to do, and I got to follow the rules. And here's 10 steps that I follow every day to love. But when divine love is happening in our lives, it just flows. It just happens from us. If you're working at it, if you're challenging yourself at it, it's difficult, because we're going to fail miserably. But if we open ourselves to the Spirit, love is something that flows from us. So Jesus commanded us to love. He commanded us to love. So we know love is not just a feeling, since you can't be commanded to have a feeling. You can't command somebody to love something that they don't love. So it's kind of like, I'll use kind of something funny. I have never, ever in my life loved Brussels sprouts. And everybody tells me, oh, that's amazing. Everybody has a great recipe for Brussels sprouts, roasted Brussels sprouts or something. I just hate Brussels sprouts. So you can't command me to love Brussels sprouts. I've had them roasted. I've had them baked. I've had them in salads. I've had them all that. I hate Brussels sprouts. Literally, I don't like to use the word hate, but I do have a genuine hate for Brussels sprouts. You can't command me to love something that I don't love. You can't command us to love something that we don't love. Why? Because love, it's a decision. It's mostly a decision. Jesus didn't say when you get healed, love. He didn't say when you mature, love. When you feel loving, love. When you get it together, then you have to love. That was not what his command was. The command for us is to love now and fill the gaps, allow love to fill the gaps of every single moment in our lives. I think all of us know that the love of God is more than we ourselves can do love. We can't just do love. When people when people tell us that we're lovable, it feels good. We can always disbelieve the second one, but the first is love is an unexplained power from beyond ourselves. How do we know that? Because love in Scripture, in the words of Jesus, is described as living water that flows out of us. It's something powerful. It's something beautiful. It's something amazing. So we need to learn in our lives to live in that love. It's not always easy. It's sometimes a great, great struggle to learn how to love. And Patty, you're right. It's about loving. It has to be unconditional. Love that is not unconditional is short-lived. It doesn't have a lot of credibility to it. But unconditional love, gracious love, takes us to a new step, takes us to a new plane. So that's kind of where we're at when we talk about love. And when we challenge ourselves to be open to love flowing out of us and through us, then we begin to experience who Jesus is in our lives. Then we begin to experience who God is in our lives. So I'm not telling you when we talk about loving God that you do it because you read more scripture, you attend church more often, you give more, you pray more, none of that has anything to do with that. That's just all legalism. That's all just following the rules and hoping something good comes out on the other end of it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but that's not what God is looking for in us, to be doing more. We're always trying to do more because we want more. We want more in more of in a selfish, kind of self-centered, materialistic way. And you can reduce spirituality to that same thing. But to experience divine love, to experience love, is something that has to flow from deep within us. And I think that's a powerful thing, and that's a great lesson for us to learn as believers. Let it be the living water that flows out of us. All of us get to a place where we're just tired and frustrated with all the things that we're trying to accommodate and accomplish in our lives. We forget how important love is. Just simple divine love. And that's my challenge for us today, is to rest in this, rest in grace, rest in love, and it's going to come out and challenge us in wonderful and unique ways. So that's all I'm going to say today. I want to keep them down to about 15 or 20 minutes, but I want to always end, and I was always ending with what I called, or what a pastor that I know, Jerry Cook, who's no longer alive, no longer with us, but he wrote this book, little simple book called Love, Acceptance, and Forgiveness, that I've been reading literally for over almost 30 years. And I read it every single year because it reminds me of what it is as a pastor, as a minister, of what my calling is, which is to love and to preach love and to show love and to demonstrate love. And I'm not always, man, I fail at it miserably. Not every day, not every moment, but there are times that I do. But this is what it's really all about. This is, if a pastor can't read this and say this and mean this, then he probably shouldn't be a pastor. But let me share this with you, and you take it for what it's worth, but this is really my heart. This is what I want my heart to express. I want you to know this is called the Forever Love Commitment. I want you to know that I am committed to you. You will never knowingly suffer at my hands. I will never say or do anything knowingly to hurt you. I will always, in every circumstance, seek to help you and support you. If you're down and I can lift you up, I'll do that. Anything that I have that you need, I'll share it with you. And if need be, I'll give it to you. No matter what I find out about you, no matter what happens in the future, either good or bad, my commitment to you will never change. And there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have to respond. I love you. And that's what it means. That's from Love, Acceptance, and Forgiveness by Pastor Jerry Cook. That's a challenging statement. That's a challenging concept of what love is and what love is supposed to look like. What is that? That's just Jesus. Jesus reminding us what love is like. That's what all the great saints and mystics have come to this conclusion, that loving God is a lifetime journey, a walk. So I want to encourage you to explore that thought, those things with me as we go forward. I'm going to desperately try to get on here every single day here at Living in Love and Grace. I definitely will get back to being on Sunday mornings with Amazing Love Sanctuary. But this was really special. I really want to encourage you to challenge that. Let me put up our email address if you need to email me. And I think this will be great if you'll be able to do that. Just email me at revsjlopez@gmail.com, and we'll definitely try to respond to the emails that you send. And I think that we will, be here for you. I think that's really what our goal is in life, is to make that a reality for you. And I think you'll be blessed by this. So that's my word of encouragement for you today, to learn how to love. Work at it. Let love flow from you. If it feels like you're working at it, you're not experiencing it. Let it flow from you. Let it flow through you. And I think you will be blessed by that experience in your life. So I think that's a great thing. Let's see here. What else do we have on here? So there is my email address. I think that's about it. If you need to do something, but don't forget to share this. Share this out there. Put it on your Facebook page. It's also going out to YouTube, onto the Living in Love and Grace YouTube broadcast. And share this. Share it with people. And I hope it helps you. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. And I think you will be encouraged each day as you are challenged. And let's get back. Let's be committed. I will be committed to being on here daily and challenging each one of you. So I hope you have a great day. God bless.